हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna. So we'll take the fifth chapter of third chapter of fifth canto. It's a very nice. I'll share the screen for you. So we'll just see the summary of this chapter first, and then we will.
So here Sukadeva Goswami is speaking that Maharaj Nabi, the son of Agnidhara, is one of the 9 sons. Wished to have sons, and thereafter he attentively began to offer praise and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the master and enjoyer of all sacrifice, and along with his wife Meru Devi, and who have not given birth to any children at that time, they worshipped Vishnu along with her husband. So this is actually they are worshipping Lord, and then they performed sacrifices. And in the sacrifice, na, so many valuable things are sacrifice item, acting in terms of he has things many things, by acting in terms of place, acting in terms of time, offering hymns, going through the feast, offering gifts to the priests, observing regulatory principles, all these things he did. But nevertheless the Lord is affectionate to his devotees. Therefore what impressed the Lord is the faith and devotion, and with a pure uncontaminated mind, and he is pleasing the Lord. So he's superficially performing this yajna, but inside na, the most important ingredient, Lord is not conquered by paraphernalia, is conquered by affection. So that's what this verse is telling. And then further it is said that while King Nabi performed uh, Pravara Yajna strictly, it was his pure uncontaminated mind, great faith, that ultimately compelled the Lord to appear. So then the Lord appears, and the description of Lord is given, and how he. So, in response to King's devotion, the Supreme Personality of God manifests in his unconquerable and captivating form. They felt just like poor people who have suddenly attained great riches, overwhelmed by a presence that pleases the minds and eyes of the devotees. The assembled receptively bend their head in worship. So then the description of Lord is given, how he is looking, what form he is there. And then the further it is said that they start offering prayers. O most worshipable one, we are simply your servants. We can who can conceive of you, because you are self-sufficiency, you are full in yourself, you do not need our service, yet we offer it for our purification. And you are transcendental, we are not aware of your transcendental form. Materialistic entities are bound by nature, you are beyond all material conceptions. And then he says submission, we can only offer obeisances as instructed by the acharyas. So then the paradox of offerings. So he says all of life's goals and opulences are directly self-sufficiently, unceasingly and unlimitedly increasing in you at every moment. So then they say that the real purpose, you do not need these arrangements. The sacrifice is not for Lord's benefit, but the benefit of devotees. And arrangements are meant for us so that we may be benefited by your lordships. So then they say that your position is like that of a person approaching a very rich man and begging for a little grains. So we are asking you something like that. So Nabi says we are worshipping for a son, and but the Lord can offer liberation. And the cause why we are doing it, ignorance of the true goal, and reality is asking for the material from the giver of the spiritual. So you can do something more, but we are just asking something little. That's what the priests say. And then in the end they say the priests admit the difficulty of remembering the divine during the trauma of death. So please help us to remember, because at the time of death there will be all these problems that are going to be coming. So uttering the holy name attributes the activities can dispel the reactions of sinful life. So there is high fear, death, and then so we want to remember you, and all the time stumbling, hunger, falling, yawning. We want to remember the holy name. And then they say that by inviting the Supreme Lord to a negligible sacrifice for a material motive, we have committed an offense at your lotus feet. So they feel that we could have taken something better from the Lord, but here is asking for a son. So without worshipping the lotus feet of great devotees, one is conquered by the illusory energy carried away by the waves of material enjoyment, which is like poison. So the divine reply. So Lord says, "O great sages, I am very pleased. You are all truthful. I consider qualified Brahmanas to be as good as my own mouth. Since no one is equal to me, another personality like me is impossible to find. So I will only come as the I shall personally expand myself into the plenary portion and thus advent myself in the womb of Meru Devi." So then the Rishabdev appears. The Lord decided to satisfy King Nabhi's desire and exhibit the method of executing religious principles. He appeared as a son of Meru Devi in his original spiritual form, which is above the modes of nature. Thus concludes the transition from a material sacrifice for a hair and an hair to the divine appearance of the Lord. So this is the summary of this chapter. So we'll now discuss the purpose. So this is very important instruction here, that Lord is they are worshipping the Lord for material benefit. So Lord can give something more. So that is the most important thing. So we may also end up doing the same mistake. So we can get so much from the Lord, but unfortunately we are asking from the Lord something material, and people are upset also if Lord is not giving. That is another problem with the living entities. They feel, why Lord is not fulfilling what I am asking. So we feel that we are more intelligent than Lord, and Lord should do what is asked from him. I'll just share the screen for you. So we'll just see what Prabhupada is have to tell in this pastime. So here, first look, Sukadeva Goswami continued. Maharaj Nabi, the son of Agnidhara, wished to have sons, and therefore he attentively began to offer prayers and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, the master and enjoyer of all sacrifices. Nabi's wife Merudevi, who had not given birth to any children at that time, also worshipped Vishnu along with her husband. And then next is that in the performance of sacrifice, there are 7 transcendental means to obtain the mercy of Supreme Lord. By sacrificing valuable things or eatables, by acting in terms of place, by acting in terms of time, by offering hymns, by going through the priest, by offering gifts to the priest, by observing the regulative principles. However, one cannot always obtain the Supreme Lord through this paraphernalia. Nonetheless, the Lord is affectionate to his devotees. Therefore, when Maharaj Nabi, who was a devotee, worshipped and offered prayers to the Lord with great faith and devotion and with pure uncontaminated mind, superficially performing some yajna. So this is Paravarga. So he is superficially performing yajna. That means he don't have, he is more interested in the Supreme Lord. So the kind Supreme Lord, due to his affection for his devotees, appeared before King Nabi in his unconquerable and captivating form with 4 hands. In this way, to fulfill the desires of his devotee, the Supreme Lord manifests himself in his beautiful body before his devotees. This body pleases the mind and eyes of his devotees. And we'll see what Prabhupada writes here. He says, Bhaktya mam vijanati yavanishyasmi tattva tato mam tattvato gyatma vishate tanantaram. He says that one can understand and see the Supreme Lord through the process of devotional service. Although Maharaj Nabi performed prescribed duties and sacrifice, it should still be considered that Lord appeared before him not due to his sacrifice but because of his devotional service. We have to do our activities as sacrifice, but along with that the consciousness is very important. So this we have discussed. Just a small revision I will do for you. We have discussed this many times. So when the sacrifice is made, you have this yajna kund, and the priest is doing the sacrifice, helping you. There are 3 steps. And then there is havan is happening. So sacrificial fire, and the ghee is offered. Now here the most important thing is the grains are put and then ghee is offered. So here the priest is offering ghee and the yajaman, the performer, is offering grains. So when he is offering grains, the grains are completely burnt, but along with that there is some ash also. But when ghee is poured, there is no ash. It is completely burnt, 100%. Here ash is there. So the point here is that when you are doing our action as a sacrifice, doing action as sacrifice. So this is what we have to do. Yajnartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Krishna is telling, do action as a sacrifice, yajna, any activities. Now, what is the main ingredients of sacrifice? Sacrifice has 2 ingredients, grains, and second part is ghee. Right? Now, grains we are offering, ghee the priest is offering. So when we are offering grains, what we are doing? We are burning the karma. That means when you are doing an activity as a sacrifice, then the grains are no more fructifying. So there is no karma when you did activity as a sacrifice. Because when you put grains in fire, they get burned. So they will not fructify. Burnt seeds cannot fructify. You need fresh seeds. That means a person, he is doing every activity which we are doing in our life should be done as a sacrifice. So if you are putting grains in soil, they will fructify, right? But if you are putting grains in fire, they will get burnt. So this is action as a sense activity with sense enjoyment. Action for sense gratification and action as sacrifice. You are understanding? So this is the benefit a person will get if he is doing as a sacrifice. That means he's conscious. Now what is this important point? This ghee is actually consciousness. Consciousness of Lord, or the devotional part. So this part, Guru will offer to Krishna. So here we are free from karma, but to completely please the Lord, we need to have devotion. So this is offered as ghee, and this is done by Guru or the priest. So this is the system. Why we need Guru? Because he is seeing what consciousness we have, and he offers that consciousness to Krishna. We will get. So here we see that Lord is appearing, even though Maharaj Nabi is doing sacrifice, but Lord did not come for the sacrifice. Very clearly it is mentioned. It should still be considered the Lord appeared before him not due to sacrifice, but because of his devotion. You are seeing, no? So there are two parts when we are doing sacrifice. One is just you did sacrifice, but say my mother tells, when I was small, she used to tell, okay, give this charity. Somebody comes, some beggar, my mother tells, give charity. Now I gave charity. So it's a sacrifice. But I was not conscious about it. My mother told I am giving. But when I grow, now I am giving. So now when I am doing, I should do it as a consciously I should do it. I should feel, okay, I want, as a devotion to the Lord, I do this service. Because they are all part and parcel of the Lord. Lord will be pleased, that's why I do it. So now I am conscious about it. So you are seeing the difference in the action. So the action has a change. The activity of giving charity when I was small and activity of giving charity when I was big, the difference is the consciousness. So this we have to generate. So when we are consciously doing, Lord will be pleased, not with the act itself. I say I am giving so much. There are people who are giving so much charity. Yeah, they are giving charity, but Lord will not appear for them. But for Nabi he appeared. Why it is like that? Because he did with a devotional consciousness. So that's what is explained here. He sacrificed, but because of his devotion. It was for this reason that Lord agreed to appear before him in his beautiful bodily features. And Venum Kwanandamaravinda Dalaya Daksham. That is the reason we need Guru, who helps us to. Guru is compulsory. Why? He will help us to develop that consciousness. Say now we are discussing. When we are discussing what Prabhupada said. So Prabhupada is explaining here, be conscious. That is how we understand. So this is the system. And then the beautiful features of the Lord are explained. Lord Vishnu appeared before King Nabi with 4 arms. He was very bright and he appeared to be the best of all personalities. Around the lower portion of his body, he wore yellow silk garments. On his chest was marks of Srivasa, which always displays beauty. He carried a conch shell, lotus flower, disc club, and he wore a garland of forest flowers and kaustuba gem. He was beautifully decorated with a helmet, ear bangles, belt, pearl necklace, armlets, ankle bells, and other bodily ornaments bedecked with radiant jewels. Seeing the Lord present before them, King Nabi and his priests and associates felt just like poor people who have suddenly attained great riches. They received the Lord and respectfully bent their heads and offered him things in worship. So this is the form. Prabhupada writing distinctly mentioned here that the Supreme Lord did not appear as an ordinary human being. He appeared before King Nabi and his associates as the best of all personalities, as stated in Vedas. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetanana. The Supreme Lord is also a living being, but he is the supreme living being. Lord Krishna says, Mattah Parataram Nanyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya. There is no truth superior to me. No one is more attractive or more authoritative than Lord Krishna. That is one of the difference between God and an ordinary living being. So as soon as a devotee hears this, he becomes more excited. He is because he is loving a right person. So we want to give our heart to a right person. And Prabhupada writing Krishna is he is more attractive and more authoritative. There is no one more attractive and more authoritative than a person whom we are loving like that. So according to this description of the transcendental body of Lord Vishnu, Lord can easily be distinguished from other living beings. Consequently, Maharaj Nabi and his priests and associates all offered the Lord obeisances and began to worship. So they offer Yanlabdva chaparam manyate nadikam tata. Upon gaining this, one thinks there is no greater gain. When one realizes God and sees the Lord face to face, one certainly thinks he has gained best of all things. So, param drishtva nivartate. Problem is because we are not having that, so we need so many alternatives in this world. So now the next few verses, it describes the features of the Lord, and then it says that the priest began, then they started offering prayer. So these are the wonderful prayers. O most worshipable one, we are simply your servants. Although you are full in yourself, please out of your causeless mercy accept a little service from us, your eternal servants. We are not actually aware of your transcendental form, but we can simply offer our respectful obeisances again and again as instructed by the Vedic literature and authorized acharyas. So they are not offering their own prayers, they are offering according to the acharyas. Materialistic living entities are very much attracted to the modes of material nature, and therefore they are never perfect, but you are above the jurisdiction of all material concepts. Your name, form, and qualities are all transcendental and beyond the conception of experimental knowledge. Indeed, who can conceive of you in the material world? We can perceive only material names and qualities. We have no other power than to offer our respectful obeisances and prayers unto you, the transcendental person. The chanting of your auspicious transcendent qualities will wipe out the sins of all mankind. That is the most auspicious activity for us, and we can thus partially understand your supernatural position. So here we have seen this slide. I'll again show for you to make you remember what all things they are praying. just to make you memorize. So, when the Lord appeared, captivating form and the beautiful features are explained. So they are telling, you are, we are simply your servants who can conceive you. You are self-sufficient, transcendental, and we are offering our obeisances. So there, these two qualities, self-sufficient and transcendental. And then now here, another point they will very small chapter. Maybe we'll be able to complete in one today. So we have no other power than offer you obeisances. That's all. You are transcendental. Prabhupada is writing, the Supreme Lord has nothing to do with material perception. Even the impersonist Shankaracharya says Narayana Paro Vyakta. Supreme Lord is beyond the material conceptions. We cannot concord the form and attributes of the Supreme Lord. We must simply accept the descriptions given in Vedic literature. Chintamani Prakarasadma Shukalpa Vriksha. So we have to go with what is given in the scriptures. So very simple point. We cannot have our own conception of absolute truth. We just have to go according to what Shastra says. That is the form. And interestingly, this is important point to understand, that all the descriptions of the Lord by different people at different times, different locations is same only. Say like 5,000 years back or many millions of years back. So somebody got realization of Lord. He got the darshan. His description and the place, time, and there is a different geographical location, different time, but description is same. You are understanding? So everybody is describing same only. Now Nabhi is in Swayambhu Manvantara, and then there is in Chakshusha Manvantara there are prayers, and Vaivashvan Manvantara people are seeing the Lord. That means at a different time span, and their locations are also different, because that time there is no separate earth planet. After Priyavart Maharaj created, then there was separate earth description. But before that it was not there. They were living in some higher realms. So they are at different time, different place. The description is same only. So the Supreme Lord, anybody gets realization, they will see the same form. That is the reason we believe it. If somebody after some time of meditation, he is getting a different form, then we have to question. But if you see all the Vedas, Puranas, everybody is giving the same description. That is very important. And even now when people are worshipping the Lord, they are also getting the same realization. So why I have to accept somebody else's realization? Right? Because it is true. The same realization everybody is getting. That is the point. If I will do my meditation and I can get different form also, but it is not happening only. That is, we cannot conceive the name and form and qualities of Sri Krishna through our material senses. Because of this, other names of the Lord are Adokshaja and Aprakrita, which indicates that he is beyond any material senses. Out of his causeless mercies, devotees, the Lord appear before Maharaj Namri. Similarly, when we are engaged in devotional service, the Lord reveals himself to us. Sevon Mukehi Jihvado. One cannot understand Supreme Lord. One can understand Supreme Lord through devotional service. So there is no other way. So this is very clear. Now what they say next is, they say that O Lord, you are full in every respect. You are certainly very satisfied with your devotees. Offer your prayers with flattering voices, faltering voices, and in ecstasy. Bring you tulasi leaves, water twigs, bearing new leaves and newly grown grass. This surely makes you satisfied. So it is not the opulence, it is the tulsi leaves and Ganga Jal. So one does not need great wealth, education, or opulence to satisfy Lord. If one is fully absorbed in love and ecstasy, he need offer only a flower and little water. So very nice point. See, what is most important is absorption, which is the most difficult thing. Absorption requires so much endeavor. If we are told, okay, listen the class, we can listen class. But getting absorbed in the class is very difficult. So that is the advantage of this for the speaker. He cannot sleep while giving class. He should be at least little absorbed in. That is the reason we are told, give, preach, preach, preach. Because of course after some time you can be a professional speaker without getting absorption, but this is the most important and difficult. Absorption comes with purity of mind. So if mind gets purified, then there is full absorption. So patram pushpam phalam toyam. The Supreme Lord can be pleased only by devotional service. Therefore it is said here, the Lord is surely satisfied by devotion and nothing else. So tulasi dala matrena. So this is the तुलसी दल मात्रेण जलस्य चौलुकेन वा विक्रीणीते स्वम आत्मानं भक्तेभ्यो भक्तवत्सलः. So Krishna is very affectionate towards devotees, sells incense to a devotee who offers merely tulasi leaf and a palmful of water. The Supreme Lord is causelessly merciful upon his devotee so much so that even the poorest of the man can offer him a little water and flower in devotion and thus pleases him. This is due to his affection and dealings with his devotees. And further verses. We have engaged in your worship with many things and have offered sacrifices unto you, but we think that there is no need for so many arrangements to please your lordships. So they are realizing we are necessarily wasting time. So Rupa Goswami says that if one is offered various foods but has no appetite, the offering has no value. In a big sacrificial ceremony, there may be many things accumulated to satisfy the Supreme Lord. If there is no devotion, attachment, or love for the Lord, the arrangement is useless. So this is what we were discussing. That it is not the grains and other arrangements that are what is the most important thing? The most important thing is devotion, attachment, love for the Lord. So this is the most important ingredient. Other ingredients will help us to come out of karma, but this ingredient will help us to please the Lord. So not that they will not get benefit. There is benefit in doing sacrifice. But if devotion is there, then the benefit is different. So the other arrangements, big sacrificial, this all many things accumulated to satisfy, that is also for the Lord only. So first this, the ingredients and to free from karma, right? But second one is devotion to please Lord. So this is the point of this chapter. Why Sukadeva Goswami is elaborately describing this is for this only. However, if we offer him a little water, a flower, and tulsi leaf, he will accept them. Bhakti, devotional service is the main way to satisfy Supreme Lord. It's not a question of arranging huge sacrifices. The priests were regretful, thinking that they were not at the path of devotional service and that their sacrifice was not pleasing to the Lord. So, this is what their realization they got. They say that all of life's goals and opulence are directly, self-sufficiently, unceasingly and unlimitedly increasing in you at every moment. Indeed, you are unlimited enjoyment and blissful existence itself. As far as we are concerned, O Lord, we are always after material enjoyment. You do not need all this sacrificial arrangement, but they are meant for us so that we may be benefited by your lordships. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results and they are not actually needed by you. So this is the important thing. So you do not need all the sacrificial arrangements, but they are meant for us so that we may be benefited by your lordships. Being self-sufficient, Supreme Lord does not need huge sacrifices, fruitive activities for a more opulent life. If for those who desire such material opulence for their interest. Yajñartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. If we do not act to satisfy the Supreme Lord, we engage in Maya's activities. So this is what we are discussing, right? So we may construct a gorgeous temple and spend thousands of dollars, but such a temple is not required by the Lord. You see, the Lord has many millions of temples for his residence and it does not need our attempt. It does not require opulent activity at all. Such engagement is meant for our benefit. Lord don't need, it is for our benefit. We engage our money in construction of gorgeous temples, then what happens? We are freed from the reactions of our endeavor. You see, we are free from karma and that is for our benefit. In addition, if we attempt to do something nice for the Supreme Lord, he is pleased with us and gives us his benedictions. So there are two things. What is that? First is you are doing an action which is we are free from the reactions. This is for our benefit. In addition, so this is the first thing and this is the second thing. In addition, if we attempt to do something nice, that means consciously pleasing. He is pleased. Something nice for the Lord. That means here devotion is leading. So whole chapter is these two parts only. How we need to devotionally do, and then second thing comes about the benedictions from the Lord, asking God benedictions. So these are the two important lessons from this chapter. That's all. If you can remember, you have remembered everything. This is a lesson what Sukadeva Goswami want to give. Of course, there are so many others, but at least these two we can remember. In conclusion, the gorgeous arrangements are not for the Lord's sake, but for our own. If we somehow or other receive blessings and benedictions from the Lord, our consciousness can be purified and we can become eligible to return home back to Godhead. Clear? So then he says that, O Lord of the Lords, we are completely ignorant of the execution of dharma, artha, kama and moksha, the process of liberation, because we do not actually know the goal of life. You have appeared personally before us like a person soliciting worship, but actually you are present here just so we can see you. You have come out of your abundant and causeless mercy in order to serve our purpose, our interest, and give us benefit of your personal glory called Apavarga liberation. You have come although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our ignorance. Lord Vishnu was personally present as sacrifice, but this does not mean that they had uh, that he had any interest in his own personal benefit. So this is very nice point. So Lord is not coming because he is getting something. He had not meant that he had any personal interest or benefit. Similarly, Archavika, the deity in the temple, is present for the same purpose. Out of his causeless mercy, the Supreme Lord presents himself before us so that we can see him. Since we have no transcendental vision, we cannot see the spiritual Satchidananda Vigraha of the Lord. Therefore, out of his causeless mercy, he comes in a form we can see. We can only see material things like stone and wood, and therefore he accepts a form of stone and wood and thus accepts our service in the temple. This is an exhibition of Lord's causeless mercy. Although he had no interest in such things, in order to receive our loving service, he agreed to act as he does. We cannot actually offer suitable paraphernalia for the Lord's worship because we are completely ignorant. It is out of his causeless mercy that Lord appeared in sacrificial arena of Maharaj Nabi. The most worshipable of all, you are the best of all benefactors, and your appearance at saintly King Nabi's sacrificial arena is meant for our benediction. Because you have been seen by us, you have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction. So they are telling the same thing again. Nija Purusha Ikshana Vishaya. So Krishna says, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend in him. The Supreme Lord is equal to everyone. In this sense, he has no enemies and no friends. Everyone is enjoying the fruitive reactions of his own work. So this is very simple understanding. Lord says that Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chadushkitam. So Lord is not partial. It is just we are getting whatever we are supposed to, destined to get. And then further he says that, dear Lord, all the great sages who are thoughtfully and saintly persons incessantly recount your spiritual qualities. These sages have already burnt up all the unlimited dirty things and by the fire of knowledge strengthened the detachment from the material world. Thus they have attained your qualities and are self-satisfied. Yet, even for those who feel spiritual bliss in chanting your attributes, your personal presence is very rare. So, to get the Lord directly is such a rare thing. So, that's what the priests are saying here. And further, they say that, dear Lord, we may not be able to remember your name, form, qualities due to stumbling, hunger, falling down, and yearning, or being miserable, disease condition at the time of high fever. We therefore pray unto you, O Lord, for you are very affectionate to your devotees. Please help us remember you and utter your holy names, attributes, and activities, which can dispel all reactions of our sinful life. So, the real success. Etavan Sankhyogaabhyam Swadharma Parinishteya Janma Labha Parapumsam Ante Narayana Smriti. Remembering the holy name, attributes, activities, the form of Lord at the time of death. Although we may be engaged in Lord's devotional service in temple, material conditions are so tough and inevitable that we may forget the Lord at the time of death due to a diseased condition of mental derangement. Therefore, we should pray to the Lord to be able to remember His lotus feet without fail at the time of death when we are in such a precarious condition. So, this is what we have to pray. Okay, Lord, let me remember you at the time of death. And Lord is very merciful. He will help us. Dear Lord, here is a great King Nabi. Now comes the second section. So first thing, they prayed that, oh, to get your form is such a rare thing. And they say, my dear Lord, we want to remember you at the time of death. Now the third thing he says, now another condemnation. They say, Are this King Nabi, whose ultimate goal of life is to have a son like you, your lordship's position is like that of a person approaching a rich man and begging for a little grain. So Nabi is so desirous of having a son that he is worshipping you for a son. Although you can offer him an exalted position, including elevation to the heavenly planets or liberation back to Godhead. So here the third part, what the prayers are telling. So these are the lessons Sukadeva Goswami, why he is in explaining this chapter, and why he is giving this, because he wanted to give this lessons also. That okay, worshipping the Lord, most important ingredient is the devotion. Second is telling that okay, to get the darshan of Lord is very rare. Once you get the darshan of Lord, all your desires are fulfilled. Nothing more is needed. Then they are praying to the Lord, my dear Lord, let us remember you at the time of death. And the third thing they are telling is, this Navi is foolish. He is asking what is what he can ask from the Lord, what he is asking. And Prabhupada is telling the Peets were little ashamed that King Nabi was performing a great sacrifice just to ask the Lord's benediction for a son. The Lord could offer him promotion to the heavenly planet or Vaikuntha planet. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taught us how to approach the Supreme Lord, ask him for the ultimate benediction. He said, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamahe. He did not want to ask Lord for any material opulence, means riches or family, good wife, followers. His only is Mama Janmani Janmani Shware Bhavatad Bhakti Rahaitakvita. You don't even want liberation. So here, although Nabi wanted a son like Vishnu, wanting a son like God is also a form of sense gratification. A pure devotee wants only to engage in the service of Lord. So this is the flaw in Maharaj Nabi's desires. Dear Lord, unless one worships the lotus feet of great devotees, one will be conquered by illusory energy and his intelligence will be bewildered. Indeed, who has not been carried away the waves of material enjoyment, which is like a poison. Your illusory energy is unconquerable. No one can see the path of material energy and tell how it is working. So here, even though he is working very hard, he has great absorption and he is able to bring the Supreme Lord, but still the material desire did not go. You see, it's such a difficult thing. Nabi was able to meditate. He was able to control his senses. What all Nabi did? So he is controlling his senses, controlling mind, and what else he did? He got absorption in the Supreme Lord, and he gave up his sense gratification. And put so much endeavor to perform sacrifice. Big sacrifice he did. That means time, energy, absorption, everything he did, but desire did not go. So material desire. So that means how difficult it is to give up material desires to such great personalities. That's why what they are telling, indeed, who has not been carried away the baits of material enjoyment, which is like a poison? That means everybody is carried away by this material enjoyment. Your illusory energy is unconquerable. No one can see the path of material energy or how it is. So, very, very difficult. Can't. So, illusory energy. So that's why we have this all material disease, because of this illusory energy. Sense control, mind control, absorption in Lord, giving up sense gratification, performing sacrifice, still material desires. Such a difficult thing. So Maharaj Nami was inclined to perform great sacrifice for begetting a son. The son might be as good as Supreme Lord, but such a material desires, be it is great or insignificant, is brought about by the influence of Maya. You see, material desires is because of Maya. So brought about by the influence. Such material desires are brought about by the influence of Maya. A devotee does not at all desire anything for sense gratification. Devotion is therefore explained as devoid of material desires. Anyabhilashita shunyam. Everyone is subjected to the influence of Maya and tangled in all kinds of material desires, and Maharaj Nabhi was no exception. So everybody is subjected. So Maharaj, even Nabhi also. Freedom from Maya. Why even Maya? Means he is such a great person. You can see how much he is doing to please the Lord. Lord appeared. Freedom from Maya's influence is possible when one engages in the service of great devotees. Mahat Seva. So that is the only way we can come out of it. Oh, this is a big verse. Mahacharana Seva. Without worshipping the, so this is where the important point comes. How can we overcome Maya's influence? By serving Mahats. Only by mercy of Guru. Clear. Without worshipping the lotus feet of great devotees, one cannot be free from Maya's influence. Narottam Das Thakur says, Chaya Vaishnava Seva Nisthare Pachai Kabe. Who has been free from Maya's clutches without serving the lotus feet of Maya? Maya is aparajita and her influence is also aparajita. Daivesha gunamayi mama maya duratteya. So very difficult to conquer. Only devotee can surpass Maya's influence. Maharaj Nabi is part that he wanted a son. He wanted a son as Supreme Lord, who is best of all sons. But the association of Lord's devotee, one no longer desires material opulence also. So even these desires will also go if we have association. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kaya, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Mahat Kripa Vina Kona Karma Bhakti Naya, Krishna Bhakti Dure Rahu, Samsara Nahe Kaya Kshaya. So if one is serious about escaping Maya's influence and returning home back to Godhead, one must associate with a sadhu. That is the verdict of all scriptures. By the slight association of devotee, one can be free from the clutches of Maya. Without the mercy of pure devotees, one cannot get freedom by any means. Certainly, a pure devotee's association is necessary in order to obtain the loving service of Lord. One cannot be free from Maya's clutches without sadhu sangha, the benediction of great devotees. So Prahlad Maharaj also says here, नैषां मतिर्तावतुरुक्रमाङ्घ्रिं स्पृहन्तनन्तोपगमो यदर्था महीयसां पादरजोऽभिषेकं निष्किञ्चनानां निर्णयविदित यावत्. So then he says, O Lord, you perform many wonderful activities. Our only aim was to acquire a son by performing this great sacrifice. Therefore, our intelligence is not very sharp. We are not experienced in asserting life's goal. By inviting you to this negligible sacrifice for some material motive, we have certainly committed a great offense at your lotus feet. Therefore, Lord, please excuse our offense because of your causeless mercy and equal mind. So if you are calling a big person for a small thing, it is really offense. The priest was certainly unhappy to have called Supreme Lord for such an insignificant reason. A pure devotee never wants to see the Lord unnecessarily. Lord is engaged in various activity and the pure devotee does not want to see him whimsically for his own sense gratification. The pure devotee simply depends on Lord's mercy, and when Lord is pleased, he can see him face to face. The Lord is unseen even by demigods like Shiva, Brahma also. So even Shiva, Brahma don't disturb Lord. So now the priests are thinking, Arey, why did we disturb the Lord? So the priests of Nabi proved themselves unintelligent. Nonetheless, the Lord came out of his causeless mercy, and you are calling for some insignificant thing. So if the child is praying, my dear Lord, please come. I want to complete my homework. And Lord is appearing and helping the child to do homework. It's like that. Chaturvida bhajante mam. So initiation into bhakti begins when one is distressed condition or in want of money or one is inquisitive, understanding supreme. Nonetheless, people who approach the Lord in this way are not actually devotees. They are accepted as pious, sukritina, due to their inquiring about absolute. Not knowing the various activities and engagements of the Lord, such people unnecessarily disturb the Lord. Because Lord is very busy, he is busy with his dancing with gopis. He don't have much time. We should not disturb the Lord. However, the Lord is so kind that even though disturbed, he fulfills the desires of such a beggar. So this is very important. So the Lord has various activities and engagements. He is a busy person. So the pure devotee is Anyabhilashita. He has no material, he has no motive behind his worship. He is not conducted by the influence of Maya in form of karma and jnana. The pure devotee is always prepared to execute the order of Lord without personal consideration. The the Ritvijas, the priests at the sacrifice, know very well the uh, distinction between karma and bhakti. And because they consider themselves under the influence of karma fruitive activity, they beg Lord's pardon. So they realized after Lord came. Before that, we may ask, why did you call first of all? Now you are regretting. After seeing the Lord, we felt it is bad. So now Sukadeva Goswami, the priests who were even worshipped by King Nabi, the emperor of Bharatavarsha, offered prayers in prose. Generally, they were in poetry and bowed down to the Lord's lotus feet, the Lord of all lords, the ruler of demigods, and very pleased with them and began to speak as follows. So now Lord is responding. What Lord is telling. So Lord is also responding in prose only. Supreme Lord replied, O great sages, I am certainly very pleased with your prayers. You are all truthful. You have prayed for the benediction of a son like me, but it is very difficult to obtain since I am the supreme without a second, and since no one is equal to me, another personality like me is not possible. In any case, because you are all qualified Brahmanas and your aberration should not be proven untrue, I consider the Brahmanas who are well qualified with Brahmanical qualities to be as good as my own mouth. So this is the blessing, means how Lord considers. about the Brahmanas. He says that Ava Tat Garbha means those who speak, those whose spoken vibrations cannot be nullified. So Brahmanas are given chance by the Shastric regulations to become almost as powerful of Supreme Lord. Whatever a Brahmana speaks cannot be nullified or changed in any circumstances. According to Vedic injunction, a Brahmana is the mouth of Supreme Lord. Therefore, in all rituals, a Brahmana is offered food. Because when a Brahmana eats, it is considered Supreme Lord eat himself. Yesterday, I was going to some place, and suddenly I was passing through a super mall, and the security of that mall, I was walking, so he comes directly to me and said, Swamiji, please can you tell me when will I get married? So I was chanting and going. So I told him, chant, and and I told the mantra to him, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And I said, you chant for 6 months, you will get married. And he know the now whether he'll get married or not, but at least he will chant the mantra. And why 6 months? If 6 months he chants, he'll get benefit for 6 months. So after that he gets married. In case faith will increase. If he does not get married also, but he has chanted, so he'll get benefited. So people are so much absorbed in material things, and I was feeling little sad for him. He was, you know, from the mall he came all the way to the road when he saw me at the distance to ask this. So that means he is so much absorbed in that I am not getting married, and as soon as he saw he is everywhere, he is looking that only, means who will help me. And suddenly he saw me, and somehow he got the thought. Anyway, then he must be thinking, this Swamiji is chanting all the time, he's not getting married. How will I get married if I chant? Even though that thought is not coming to him. So hopefully we'll chant. Similarly, when Brahmana spoken cannot be changed, it must act. The learned sages, that means see how much value Lord is giving. Brahmana says it should happen. So sacrifice are not only Brahmanas, but were so qualified that they were like devatas, God, demigods, or God himself. If there were not the case, how could they invite Lord to come to the sacrificial arena? God is one. God does not belong to this or that religion. Kali Yuga, different religions consider their God to be different from the God of others, but it is not possible. God is one. He is appreciated according to different angles of vision. In this verse, the word Kaivalyate means that God has no competitors. There is only one God. In the Shetasatra Upanishad, Natat Samascha Abhigachatiyati. We just have, this is, since I cannot find anyone equal to me, I shall personally expand myself in the plenary portion and advent myself in the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of Maharaj Nal. So he is expanding here. So this is the benediction he got. And then further it says, Sridhar Goswami continued, after saying this, Lord disappeared. The wife of King Meru Devi was sitting by the side of her husband, and consequently she could hear everything the Supreme Lord has spoken. According to Vedic injunction, one should perform sacrifice in the company of one's own wife. So this is the important instruction, that sapatna ko dharmam acharet. Religious ritual should be performed with one's wife. Therefore, Maharaj Nabi conducted his great sacrifice with his wife by his side. And further it is said that O Vishnu Datta Parikshit Maharaj, the Supreme Lord was pleased by the great sacrifice at that great sage at the sacrifice. Consequently, the Lord decided to personally exhibit the method of executing religious principles as observed by the Brahmanas, Sannyasis, Vanaprasthas, and Grahasthas engaged in rituals and also satisfy Maharaj Nabhi's desire. Consequently, appeared as a son of Mirdev in his original spiritual form, which is above the modes of material nature. So, when the Lord appeared within this material world, he does not accept a body of the three modes. So, he is beyond the three modes. He is Vishuddha Sattva. Vishuddha Sattva refers to Sattva Guna, which is never contaminated. In this material world, even goodness is contaminated, but Vishuddha Sattva is not contaminated. And Lord is appearing to establish Dharma, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya. Unlike ordinary living entities, Supreme Lord is not forced by modes of material nature. It is also very clearly explained. And we successfully completed this chapter. So I will go back to the our PPT. I will just show you once again the revision through our PPT. So here we saw that the Lord is appearing, and when he appeared, the priests, they started praying. They said, "You are self-sufficient, transcendent. We submit our things." And they say that real purpose, you do not need these arrangements. Sacrifice is not for the Lord's benefit, but for our benefit. And he is simply pleased by tulsi and water. That's all. And then they condemn themselves. My dear Lord, we are coming to you like begging for a small penny, coming to a rich person, even though you can give more. You can give us liberation, but we are asking for a son. We are ignorant of our true goal. You can give us spiritual things. And then they ask, okay, let us remember you at the time of death. Please help remember you, because at the time of death there will be stumbling, hunger, falling, yawning. So let us remember your holy name. Fever and death will be there. And then we say, my dear Lord, we invited you for a negligible thing. We committed offense. Please forgive us. And then Lord says, okay, I am very pleased with you. So kings want a son. So because I am a person without a second, so no one is equal to me. So that's why I will only come. Because you all are truthful. I consider qualified Brahmanas to be as good as my own mom. So you are speaking means it is me speaking only. So I shall personally expand and advent myself. And then Lord appeared as beautiful Rishabdev in the womb of Meru Devi. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. Any questions, comments? Okay, we'll end here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.